Hello, Bobs. We're back with another book. This one, Bowl Hockey, the book by Jeff Eberbaugh. You can see it's Bowl's bung and his junk. Table of contents, forward, titles, etc. Let's see if we can get through this. Forward, this book is exactly what the title implies. Some of it is true, but most of it is lies, just thoughts that were written and made into verse. You probably never read anything worse. Most of this book won't make any sense. Like a boy named Herb, who peed on a fence, and after you read it or take a quick look, you'll question the sanity of who wrote the book. If your face had a bull's ass instead of a mouth, the thoughts that are written in this book would come out. So I wrote it all down. I have nothing to lose. And I showed it to Mother, and she didn't approve. This helps to explain just what it's about. The bullshit was in me and had to come out. Do you ever think of crazy things? Do you ever think of crazy things out of the blue? If you don't, you should start, because I sure do. Can you tell yourself jokes and have all kinds of fun? Can you tell yourself a story or maybe a pun? Hey, didn't Wendell Agnew like puns? I think he did. Let's take a look. Come on, turn on, you old. Maybe he didn't like puns. Yeah, he did. He loved singing, puns, politics. Yeah, so this is great thread. If you find yourself down and out and need a little lift, just think of something crazy, maybe something like this. If all at once your body parts were scattered all around and you put yourself together wrong with all the parts you found, would you be happy and would you be pleased with your eyes and your ear holes and your hair on your knees? Your nose has to move because your face is too smelly. Your butt's on your face and your nose on your belly. You'd have to stand up whenever you grinned because your mouth and your lips are now your hind end. Do you ever think of crazy things out of the blue? If you don't, you should start, because I sure do. Hey, there's butt face. Don't pee on the fence, Herb. Speaking of pee, I need some beer. I saw him start. I heard it arc. I think it's supposed to be ARC, but then fire flew up the stream. His hair stood up, his eyes popped out, and then I heard a scream. Herb was just a hired hand. But you'd think he'd have more sense than to pull his organ from his jeans and pee upon a fence. It knocked him back, he shook and squirmed, and sadly in his hand he held the smoking remnants of what once made him a man. I thought I was going to say his worm, but that would have been a rhyme. I mean, maybe that's what it was supposed to say. There's that chick again. The First Natural Bank. Back in the Depression, when our economy sank, people lost their money they had in the bank. And I still don't trust these banks today, but I still put quite a bit of money away. Where I put mine is a whole lot better. There is no sign outside with the time or the weather. There is a whole lot of interest where my money's stashed. No nickels and dimes, just cold hard cash. It's held up daily and is always a bust. A firm like this you'd have to trust. So protect your money before you lose and switch to the National Bank between boobs. This guy's a fucking poet taster of the lowest order. I'm a cheese lover. I like all kinds of cheese from Longhorn to cheddar, Limburger, Swiss, hot pepper, and feta. I like double cheese pizzas with lots of pepperoni. I like a plain cheese sandwich or cheese with bologna. I like cheese on my eggs and cheese on my taters. Fried cheese sticks and cheese with tomatoes. I like cheese on chips and melted Velveeta. I like cheese on a hot dog and cheese on a pita. Yes, I'm a cheese lover. There ain't no doubt. I have to board up my asshole to keep the rats out. The fuck does that mean? Oh, man. Yeah, he ain't kidding. He poured it up. What's that got to do with this line of cheese? Why the fuck are there rats in his ass? You are what you eat. There's two things for sure we've always been taught: taxes and breathing. We do or we're not. But another I've learned through living a bit: a trip to the table will cause you to shit. What we put in our bellies makes a difference. You know, a hard one, a soft one, a run or a blow. Hot peppers for a fire and prunes for a juice. Cheese for the loggins and beans for the toots. So watch what you eat as the days pass, or you better believe me, you'll pay through the ass. Good friends. Friends may come and friends may go and friends may peter out, you know, but we'll be friends through thick or thin, peter out or peter in. Look at that goddamn guy. He reminds me of somebody. I'm going to tell you who it is if I can think of the guy. God damn, who is that? That dude from, what's that book? The Road. Is it The Road? No. What's that book by Cormac McCarthy? No Country for Old Men. That's who it reminds me of. That son of a bitch. And that fucking, what's that guy's name? That hitman. The Fishalow. I crossed a fish with a buffalo in a test tube just for fun. A twisted mess of chromosomes that were hatched out by the sun. I fed it hay and fishing worms until it had its fill. A barrel-chested horny thing with fish-like face and gills. Should I keep it in my barn or throw it in a lake? Should I try to fillet the thing or cut it into steaks? I wonder if it's good to eat. If it is, I'll let you know. And the next time I want surf and turf, I'll eat my Fishalow. Ode to a Grill. You can probably tell that I love to eat just by how I write. I eat 3 squares most every day and have a big snack at night. I like food boiled and I like food fried. I eat till I get my fill. But most of all, I like food that is cooked on a charcoal grill. I love the savor and smell the flavor of any food cooked this way. I am writing this letter to tell you it's better, and I'd eat it most every day. If I had lobster and a big old steak, and you even paid the bill, I'd trade it right now for an old cow pile if I was sure it was cooked on a grill. A nose full of nickels. I knew an old lady who was nosy as heck. She'd watch you with binoculars from out on her deck. She listened on the party line while you talked on the phone. She was the nosiest woman I think I've ever known. She'd talk to you for hours just to try to pick your brain and call her nosy friends and repeat it all again. She would listen to your messages and try to read your mail. This windy old windbag could fill up a sail. She's got trespassing signs and she's really a witch. If she had a nose full of nickels, that bitch would be rich. This is devolving into pure fuckery. The Fishalow dog. Do you remember the Fishalow from 3 pages back? With the fish-looking face and the gills on his back. I never did eat the thing. I kept it for a reason. I bred it to my hunting dog when she came into season. Now I have a herd of pups as cute as they can be. I think I'll sell a few of them and keep the rest for me. I've got hay-burning hunting dogs that can tree a fishing worm as far as treeing coons and cats. The things aren't worth a darn. I kick him every now and then to remind him he's a part hound. And when I chain him up outside, he never makes a sound. This is very anticlimactic and not funny. The hole in one. We were looping 18 with a full bag of sticks. It was a damn tough course with beaches and cricks. We bet a pitcher, a hole just out to have fun. Big Dave took the honors on hole number 1. He dug his cleats in the dirt with a fairly wide stance. He pulled a new ball from the pocket of his pants. He placed the ball on the tee about an inch or so high, and with a long metal wood he pointed toward the sky. It was a long par 5 with a dog leg right, and the flag and the green weren't even in sight. He drew back on the ball with a majestic grace, but he swung too low, and the ball hit his face. All right, I can't do it. This ain't Mama Goose. Maybe there's something better back here. Crotchless underwear. Crotchless underwear were invented one day by a farmer on a tractor who was baling hay. He was baling round bales, and he was all alone, a mile from the house and even more from a phone. The farmer had to poop but hated to quit. He had an urge to purge. I mean, he really had to shit. So he slammed on his brakes and threw his tractor out of gear, dropped his pants to his ankles, and shit for a year. He had nothing to wipe with, not even any leaves. He didn't have a shirt, so he didn't have sleeves. He found an old corn cob, but it was too old and stiff. So he ripped the crotch from his underwear to wipe his ass with. Old Mother Hubbard opened the cupboard and a rat jumped in her face. She opened her stance and pissed in her pants and flattened the rat with a plate. Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how do your reefer plants grow? They grow quite well till I went to jail. And how they did after that, I don't know. What the fuck? Little Tommy Tucker sang for his supper. That's why he was skin and bones. Since he never got fed, he drank whiskey instead and just laid around and got stoned. Mary had a little lamb and hated to see it go, but she shot her lamb and built a stand and sold hot lamb sandwiches to go. Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in the tub. These 3 can't be beat. It's Swaggart and Baker and the candlestick maker and some floozy from up the street. Starkle, starkle, little twink. Starkle, starkle, little twink, who the hell you are, I think. I'm not under the alkafluence of incamahol, although some think'll peep I are. I fool so feelish, don't know which is me. The drunker I sit here, the longer I be. Jack and Jill go on the pill and drink a quart of water. Jill drank it down and said with a frown, I wanted another daughter. So Jill took the pill against her will and was true for quite a long segment, but she slept around all over town when she discovered she couldn't get pregnant. Mary had a little watch and swallowed it one day. The doctor gave her castor oil to pass the time away. The castor oil didn't work and the time just wouldn't pass. So if you need to know what time it is, look up Mary's uncle. He had a watch too. This is clever, Jeff Eberbaugh. A lot of bowl prize, but I can't do it anymore. Goodbye.